welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to explore Dr. Michael Greger's How Not to Diet.
Yeah, the goal is really to unpack his science-based ideas for, sustainable weight loss.
Exactly. We've got some excerpts that lay out the book's main arguments.
And the mission is to understand this non-dieting philosophy he presents for managing weight long-term.
Right, moving beyond those typical diet fads.
Yeah.
So let's start there. The book is pretty critical of traditional diets.
It is. The main point is, well, that many diets might work initially. You get that weight loss.
Sure. Through restriction, mainly.
Precisely. But they often fail in the long run. Dr. Greger points to high rates of weight regain.
Because they're just not sustainable for most people.
That seems to be the argument, yeah. They don't really address the underlying sort of behaviors or the physiology involved.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So what's the core alternative presented in How Not to Diet?
The foundation is really a whole food plant-based diet.
Okay, define that a bit more. What does that look like?
It means focusing on foods from plants, minimally processed, as close to their natural state as possible.
And in practical terms, what does that mean you're eating less of?
Well, naturally, this approach is low in added fat and added sugar, and also lower in calorie density.
Why the focus on those?
The idea, based on the science cited, is that these often contribute a lot of calories without much nutritional payoff.
Right. Empty calories, basically.
Kind of. And processed foods, which are often high in these things, the book suggests they can mess with our natural hunger and fullness cues.
Making it easier to overeat.
Potentially, yeah. Leading to what some might call addictive eating patterns, though that's a complex area.
Got it. So if that's what you limit, what are you leaning into? What's rich in this diet?
Fiber and essential nutrients are really key. Lots of fiber.
Why fiber specifically?
Fiber is huge for satiety. It helps you feel full, satisfied, helps manage appetite naturally.
And nutrient density just means getting more bang for your buck, nutritionally speaking.
Exactly. More vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients per calorie. Think legumes, vegetables, whole grains, fruits.
Okay. Now, the book doesn't just stop at food, right? It mentions these weight loss boosters.
That's right. These are other evidence-based strategies that kind of work alongside the diet.
Supporting weight management from different angles?
Yeah, looking at other lifestyle factors that definitely influence our weight and overall health.
Can you give us an example or two from the excerpts? What kind of boosters are we talking about?
Sure. One concept mentioned is chronobiology.
Chronobiology. Sounds complex.
It basically suggests that when we eat matters, trying to align our eating schedule with our body's natural daily rhythms, our circadian rhythms.
So like time-restricted eating, potentially. Eating within a certain window.
That seems to be the implication, yes. Then there's sleep. The importance of getting proper sleep is really stressed.
How does sleep tie into weight?
Well, lack of sleep can affect hormones, like cortisol, the stress hormone, and also ghrelin and leptin, which regulate appetite. It can actually make you feel hungrier.
Interesting. And stress management is in there, too.
Definitely. Managing stress effectively is another key booster. And of course, regular physical activity. That's always crucial.
So it's not just about the plate, it's a much more holistic view.
Precisely. It's about the bigger picture of your lifestyle habits.
Which really connects back to the idea that this isn't a quick fix.
Absolutely. The core message seems to be that lasting weight management comes from making sustainable lifestyle changes. Changes based on nutritional science and wisdom, not just temporary dieting rules.
Okay, so wrapping up our dive into How Not to Diet, the big takeaway is shifting focus, right?
Yeah, moving away from that restrictive dieting mindset.
Towards this whole food, plant-based lifestyle, but also bringing in these other healthy habits.
Right, like prioritizing sleep, maybe being mindful of when you eat, managing stress, staying active. It's presented as a more viable path for the long haul.
A more sustainable approach overall.
Exactly, which leaves us with a thought for our listeners. Maybe consider just one or two of these boosters.
Like focusing on sleep, maybe?
Or perhaps just consciously choosing more whole, unprocessed foods this week. Think about how even small, sustainable shifts like that might impact not just weight, but your overall energy and well-being.
Something that definitely mull over. Thanks for breaking that down.
My pleasure.